just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. From his end zone, it's Demetric Felton. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Play fake. Mayfield. Flush to his right. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Mayfield looks to throw. There's the rookie from Auburn, Anthony Schwartz. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. A gain of 4, not enough. And it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
2nd and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day. And I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it. And he's giving me the evil eye, folks. Now it's Jackson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The Browns drive about to get started. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 17.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set them up with a 1st and goal. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
Chubb. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
They'll give it to Chubb, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. A extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Flushed out right. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker. These two teams met in Baltimore. You might remember earlier in the year with the Ravens winning that game. So they'll be looking for the win here in Cleveland to complete the season sweep. 2nd and 8. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And, of course, this a critical game in regards to not just the division race, but playoff seeding as well. They are a game up, but a loss here could really muddy the waters.
And both of these teams want to clear things up about how they feel about each other and their standing in the league. Because these two teams, they've really been the cream of the crop in their division. So this game, it's been looming on both of their schedules.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mayfield. Caught left side. It's Beckham. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Partner, in our years together, we've never really run into a player that's admitted a doubt or a lack of confidence, right? But right now, I'm just wondering about that interior line because on defense, they're starting to get manhandled at the point of attack. Do they have it in them to figure a way to reverse the tide? Because right now, they're running the ball at will.
Being chased out left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. Adafe Owe able to drop him for a loss of a couple. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
To try again after the sack. Mayfield, he'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Baker Mayfield only 6'1", but he can certainly sling it, and we saw evidence of that right there. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Fields this way up at the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
At the 18-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap and again to Dobbins. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown.
14, Ravens 7. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Hey, line alert! 54, right there. 54, Mike. Watch, QB down.
First down, Mayfield. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Mayfield now from the 50. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Mayfield off the play fake. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. First down, Cleveland, Mayfield to Beckham. Mayfield with it once more. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Fighting his way through contact. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. Trucks over him. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Right there. 54, right there. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They toss it left side to Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They run right side with Hunt. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And his kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
On the return, Devin Duvernay. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. It's a first down and more for Dobbins. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball. And we just saw there that that's difficult to do. But just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on. But the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
Mayfield's throw complete there to Beckham. Touchdown, Browns! Odell Beckham, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. On the return is Duvernay. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. It's an 89-yard kick return. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker now for the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. And again, it's Chubb. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They run it again with Chubb. Running right through him. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 50 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
A give. This is Chubb. Finds a seam inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
A run for Nick Chubb. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Mayfield on play action. He's got Hooper on the short connection. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. I'm coming for you. You
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Jackson now. Going with a screen for Murray. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now a throw here to his running back, powering his way forward. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's good for 28 yards.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal.
Ravens 21. Justin Tucker.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Anthony Schwartz with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. McLaughlin now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38. This is something that we saw quite a bit at Oklahoma, and we'll be seeing it more and more on the NFL level as well. Marquise Brown going Hollywood.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Jackson. He'll get that to the rookie from Minnesota, Rashad Bateman. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he will have a Ravens first down, maybe by about a yard, as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Malik McDowell able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's a give to Dobbins. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They get 15, but they still need it a little bit more. 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
From his end zone, it's Demetric Felton. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. And he'll power his way up near the 25. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Right there. Hurry! Just like that. Just like that. Alert! Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Check the out. Mike, 55. Check. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
On 3rd down, here's Hunt. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And it's taken in at the 9. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, the defense got its job done, forcing the punt. Now the formula pretty simple. They need to find the end zone here. A field goal doesn't help them much. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front They won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. Oh, he bowls over him. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he gets us up past the 30 to the 32.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Throwing, Jackson. And that's complete to Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Jackson on target to Brown for a Ravens first down. Jackson. Dobbins with it. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now Jackson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had, because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
They'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. From his end zone, it's Demetric Felton. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And he will get out of bounds here to stop the clock, but not a huge pickup there. 6, maybe 7. 7 yards, the pickup there. Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
and you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
And finding the tight end Hooper. And he is going to have a Browns first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball...
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Browns drive about to get started. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. The first throw in overtime for Mayfield now. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is fielded at the 7. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done, now part 2. Loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now what can Jackson do here in overtime? He's going deep for Brown. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. They can't tackle him. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. They'll run on first down. Hunt, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 28. 77 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. Third and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Keenum now on the keeper. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 2 on the play there. And that'll be good for a Cleveland first. A toss play to Chubb. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he is going to have the Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He did not have a catch to that moment. Pretty good time for his first one, though, here in OT.
I would agree with that, and just think about how they had to cycle through all the play sheets, right? Tried to find ways to get a lot of people the football. In this case, as you said, he hadn't had a catch all game. Now they find him in a key moment. Really well done.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage game there is really kind of gravy. And this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want. The right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Mayfield. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the